Hi and welcome to Sid Says, where on a weekly basis I will guide you through all the latest transfer rumours, who we're linked with and whether we're actually going to sign any players. The biggest transfer news I'll talk about in a minute, but I'd like to welcome my special guest today, Darius 3K from Paxton Road TV. How are you, mate?
Hello. I'm all right, mate. I'm doing great. I've just come off if you want to check it out, the FTB on the spot quiz. I'm bottom of the table for spoilers, but you know what? I'm gonna work on my knowledge, and you know what? We've got a manager, and we can start talking about transfers. So I am over the moon. I can't lie to you, Sid. I'm over the moon.
That's good. You know what? I did see you yesterday, and fair play to you. You know the Laurent Blanc question. I'm telling you, because you said to me, but you pulled that one out of the bag, and I think on the spot should give you an extra couple of points for that one.
I said 5 points for that, just because I'm flipping 21 years old. I should not be knowing that information.
No, that's right. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play. Yeah, so the biggest transfer, the biggest thing we've got at the moment is Nuno's at Tottenham Hotspur. So happy. You know what? I don't care who it is. The fact is we've got a manager, and that's all that matters finally. But this will be another discussion on a different day, maybe talking points or one of them shows. So today, let's talk about the transfers. I've got 5 transfers for you, Darius. One of them we've already gone through before. So we'll start with the one. Let's start with strikers, because there's a lot of talk. Harry Kane, right? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Now, there's a lot of census out there that people are saying get rid, because 150 million is a lot of money to get for a striker. But I don't know how you feel, but I'm thinking if we do get rid of Harry Kane for 150, how many strikers are we going to need? So I've sort of compiled, I've got 2 strikers here, well, 3. So let's go through them first. First one I've got is Dusan Vlahovic, Fiorentina player. As you can see, plays for Fiorentina. Striker, left-footed, 21 years old. He got 21 goals last season, and value is 38. What are you saying about this one?
So I'm a personal fan of watching other leagues. I think that watching other leagues, you can really get a good knowledge of a lot of players. I'll be real and I'll be honest. Dusan Vlahovic, I've not paid a lot of attention to. I know that he scored 17 goals in Serie A, and I've seen him play a couple of games for Fiorentina, and he looks very similar to that mold of Jimenez, Kane, that sort of bigger striker. I think he stands at, was it 1.9 meters? It was at 6'2". So he's a decent sized lad. He gets up in the air quite well, and he's quite a physical specimen as well. So I think that we can see sort of the profile of striker that Nuno is going to want. I think it's going to very similarly it's going to be similar to Raul Jimenez. So I think it's a good option. He's 21 years old as well. If it is, I've heard 60 million is the value that they want. I know transfer mark him at 38. I think if you can get him for around 30 to 40 million, that's a good snip at 21 years old. And if he improves, then you could probably sell him on for maybe double that price. So I'm here for that. If Dusan Vlahovic comes to Tottenham, I'm here for that. The only question is, Sid, is that going to be at the expense of Kane, or is that going to be with Kane? I don't really see us spending that much money if Kane stays.
This is the thing, isn't it? If Kane stays, then he's a 21-year-old who's supposed to be one of the hottest properties in Europe. I was reading up on him yesterday, and they've also said that not only is he good in the air, his all-round play, box, inside the box, outside the box, tactically he's very good with his feet as well. Will he want to come to Spurs as a sidekick to Harry Kane? Me personally, no. Because, like you said, his add-on value is going to get higher and higher, and he wants to make a name for himself. So it's one of them, innit? We'd have to get rid of Kane.
Can't see him join him. Definitely can't see him joining if Kane's not going.
Exactly, yeah. Because there's a lot of clubs after him, and we'd have to get him in first. Simple 100%. as. So okay, that's a no from you, and I'm saying the same, to be honest. But you never, Daniel Levy might surprise us. Absolutely.
Never know. You never know.
Right, this one. My boy said, "Dad, why have you got Maxi Gomez? He's slow on FIFA 21." But I saw this yesterday. He's 24 years old, actually. He plays for Valencia, right-footed. Again, 24 years old, youngster, 18 goals. And his values, this is what made me laugh. He's got a get-out clause of 120 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is typical La Liga buyout clauses there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ansu Fati's got something like a 700 or 400 million euro release clause. So that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I don't think that's ever what he's worth, and I don't think that's ever what they'll get for him. But at the same time, I'm not too keen on Maxi Gomez, but it's the profile that we seem to be identifying. It seems to be very similar. He seems to be in a very similar mold to Dusan Vlahovic and Raul Jimenez. Like I said, obviously Nuno being our manager now. So I think that, and obviously I've watched a lot more. I think Serie A, La Liga is quite a lot easier to watch and be able to access. So I think that seeing Valencia play, they're not great anymore at all, Valencia. But Maxi Gomez seems like a proper physical specimen. He seems like he's very, very dominant in the air. That's what I noticed from him. And he's not overly tall either, so he's obviously got to do something to be able to be so dominant in the air. So
he's 6'2", you know.
It's a decent size. It is a decent size.
Yeah.
I can't lie. It's a very decent size.
Yeah.
But you know, against these centre backs, these taller centre backs, you still have to have a big presence. And I think that strength on the ball and what he can bring maybe to a player like Son who can play off him is very important. So I don't know. The system is very important to what we play. If we play one up front, Maxi Gomez, I don't really think would work as a one up front because he seems like I don't know how technically good he is on the ball, but with a partner, I can really see that working. As him being a taller player, maybe getting into the box for Son to maybe put balls into the box or run on beyond him. So yeah, no, I'm here for these taller strikers. It's just how they're going to fit into the system and how they're going to complement our other players as well.
I think personally, it's going to be, is Harry Kane staying? Is he going? Because all these strikers that we're going to talk about will all be dependent on Harry Kane. Yeah. Now, that youngster Vlahovic and him as a twosome, you sell Kane for 150, maybe try and get these two. I know it's 120 million, but I believe Sevilla are in some money struggles, and they're looking at selling. So 30 million, 35 million, 40 million bid might secure him. I mean, 18 goals last season. But I'm just going off what my son was saying yesterday. He said, Dad, he's too slow on FIFA 21. Now,
he's a penalty box striker, as they call him, don't they? He operates in that 6-yard box.
This is it. Now, with Son on either side, Bergwijn maybe as well. If we've got that ammunition running down the wings, maybe he might just need to do that. But I can't see 120 million being spent, and I can't see Daniel Levy anywhere near that.
I would rather, and personally, I don't know about you, I'd rather Dusan Vlahovic as well. I think he's more of a prospect, I believe. And I think that I'm very much on and then you shouldn't really think of players like this, but you do have to think about the value that you can potentially make on them if things don't work out or if they're even better than you expect. So I think that you'd probably be able to get your money back or even sell Dusan Vlahovic for more than Maxi Gomez. So I'd still go for Vlahovic over Gomez. Yeah,
I think Daniel Levy will be thinking the same as well, because 21 years old, very, very highly rated.
Very young. And he's scored 17 goals as a 21-year-old is impressive. It's very impressive. So
exactly. Right. This one, I've stuck him in.
Ooh.
I know we've been linked with him before.
That's a
last season and the season. Yeah. But Anthony Martial of Man United. I've heard he's not happy at Man United, and also they're looking to get rid. And if a decent bid comes in, the only problem is 9 goals last season, and he came in as a centre forward, 25 years old, nine goals, and his value is 36 million. So me personally, I was looking at some of his stuff yesterday, and not only is he a striker, he plays in on the left to come in on the right, and he plays on the right, shoots in on the left. So as an option, we can have him and Son moving in and out, and also if we need him, he can play up front. Son can swap with him, deliver the balls in. I think that would be a decent signing if we get him at the right price.
Yeah, so I think that Man U bought him for it was like almost 60 million, wasn't it? So I expect they'd want a lot for him. I agree with you to an extent. I think that having a player that can operate in two positions quite well, or very well, should I say, is so important. But I ask you the question, where would you rather see Martial play? Would you rather see him play off the left or up front? Because if he's a striker, I can see that working. But as a left winger, I do believe that there's probably Son and maybe even, well, I don't know if Bergwijn's going to stay. I don't know if he'd probably play ahead of Martial if he was to join, hypothetically. But I think that the winger spot would probably be more difficult for him to lock down. So then I look at him as a striker, and I think, is Martial going to score you 30 goals a season or 20 goals a season? that's what I have my doubts on. But like you said, for in terms of fluidity and being able to play across the line, yeah, he's very good in all front three positions. So I would definitely say in terms of injuries and stuff like that, he'd be a good player to have. But it's whether you want him as a main goal scorer or as a sort of creative inside forward. It's what you want from him. So I still think he's a talented player, though. I still think and he's quite young as well. He's only 20? Is it 24?
He's
25.
25.
So yeah, he's still young. He's still young.
And I mean, it's like you said, if we can get him at a decent price, if there's a lot of ifs going on, if Harry Kane is sold, we get 150 million. Two out of the three here, for me, I'd be very happy with. If we get any two, I mean, Vlahovic has to be the main priority. If we got him on one of these two as strikers, I think it would work.
Because I think at the end of the day, I think we all realize now that one player is not going to fill that Harry Kane goal and assist quota. We're going to need at least probably two very, very good players, maybe even three if you really be realistic.
Exactly. I mean, just putting it out there to everyone else as well. If you've got any players, if you've got any feedback on these guys, comments, please leave them below.
Definitely.
And we'll get back to them because everyone's opinion matters to us. We're just discussing these players, and the more comments we've got, the more opinions we've got, the better.
100%.
So that's all three strikers, because I was chatting to a few on the other groups yesterday, and they did say that gives a list of strikers that potentially, I mean, there's a lot more we're linked with, but I'd be here all day. So we'll come back with some of them maybe on the next show.
No problem.
And then I've got one midfielder. Now, there's a lot of talk about this one, and there's a lot of excited players. I want your opinion on this one. Franck Kessie from AC Milan.
He's 24.
Currently 24.
Wow.
AC Milan, yeah. 13 goals he scored last season. He's 6 foot, right-footed, and currently valued at 49.5 million.
I like Franck Kessie a lot. And I think that if you can imagine him and Højbjerg dominating midfields, the size of those two and just the sheer intimidation that they can bring in that midfield, I think it's fantastic. I think there's a lot of caveats to him. So one, I didn't realize he was 24 years old. That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. So he's got a lot to even still develop and turn into an even better player. The 13 goals I was just mentioning, obviously we're going to have to kind of replace that output with more than one player. We seem to struggle with centre mids scoring goals. I know that Ndombele scored a couple more goals this season, and Lo Celso got bagged a couple in other competitions. But our midfielders don't seem to score that many goals. So it seemed that Kane and Son had to do a lot. So to see somebody like Franck Kessie who can come in, and I know a lot of those goals were penalties because he was a main penalty taker, and he's a very, very good penalty taker at that. But if you've got a midfielder who can attack on the edge of the box, be a threat on the edge of the box and take a shot, and also pose a threat to score a goal, that it causes fear amongst your opposition, because then they're going to have to mark Kessie, and then it leaves more space for Kane and Son. So for me, ideal centre mid signing. He's got a year left on his contract, so I don't even think it's going to cost 49 million. I think you could probably get him for the 35 million pound mark. Absolutely. And if you get Franck Kessie for 35 million, even if he's got a year left on his deal, that's a brilliant signing. And then you're looking at Ndombele, Lo Celso, Skip, Højbjerg, all as options, and Franck Kessie, all as options. I would personally take that. So yeah, for me, this has to be a priority, or somebody in a similar category to him. 6 foot, dominating, but good on the ball, and can partner Højbjerg very well.
Absolutely. Do you know what? There's a lot of people excited about this guy. To be honest, I've not seen much of him, but my youngest one, when I was doing this yesterday, putting it all together, he was very excited. He was like, "Dad, are we after Kessie?" And I'm like, yeah. He goes, "Yeah, that's quality." But it's like going back to what you were saying before. When was the last time we actually had midfielders that actually scored goals? All right, we had that one season where Dele Alli,
Dele Alli, yeah, that's probably, yeah, you're right. That's 18 goal season is probably the last one.
That's it. So as much as we're always looking at these playmakers, these silver midfielders, we don't have enough goals. And if this guy comes in, delivers even 10, 12 goals, that's 10, 12 goals. Get your striker, Son, and maybe the other ones, Bergwijns, Dele Alli, GLC, and Ndombele, even Højbjerg, even if they contribute a little bit, that's something, a little bit of pressure off Kane or whoever comes in. So for me, that would be a massive, massive signing. I know a lot of people. Please comment on Kessie and what you think about him. Whether
any AC Milan fans or Serie A fans, I'd love to know more, because we obviously don't watch it week in, week out, so he might have flaws that we don't recognize. But from what I see, he looks so dominating, and that's the main thing for me. I think that if you noticed last year, it's the size of the midfield. I feel like the midfielders in the Premier League, you got people like Souček and Ndidi and Rice. They're big, dominating, ball playing midfielders, and I think that's the way to go forward. Now I know that there is a space for your smaller, more agile, technical midfielders, but you have to protect them with big dominators. So I'm here for this. I'm definitely here for this. And
it's like Darius said, any Italian fans out there or AC Milan fans, please let us know, because why has this man's contract been got down to the final year of his contract? If he's 100%. That good, why is he only left? Why have they not renegotiated a new contract with him?
Very true.
Their loss could be a massive game for us. So, yeah.
And they've lost Donnarumma as well already. So I don't really think they're going to want to lose another player for free who's got value.
That's it. I think that's what I've heard, that they've lost Donnarumma for free. And I've heard they don't want to lose this guy for free as well. So I believe rather than losing for free, they are willing to take some money. 49 million, I don't think they'll get. But no. I think half of that, I'll be happy with that.
100%.
Right, so this is the next one. Is a massive debate. We've had many debates on Paxton Road TV about our central defence.
Oh, gosh.
And we've had many defenders linked from A to Z. But this one is absolutely full steam ahead, and it's going mad. This is Takahiro Tomiyasu, plays for Bologna. Correct me if I'm wrong. Centre back, stroke right back.
I think you got that right there.
Oh, thank you. I was practicing that all day. 22, another 22-year-old. So he's a youngster, 6'1", valued at 17.2 million. Now, before you give me your opinion on this, what's bugging me is he's valued at 17.2 million, right? Why has Daniel Levy now offered 12.9 million plus 2.6 million in add-ons? We need centre-backs. We're linked with every Tom, Dick and Harry and Skriniars and Cody's and everyone. This man is 17 million. That's a bargain. Pay it.
I'm here for it as well. And like I said, I'm not going to front. I'm not going to pretend like I've seen or known this player. This guy is completely new to me. So I'm going to have to go and do research on him and learn about him. But I'm going to say this with a little bit of a pinch of salt. If any player is linked with Atalanta, he's going to be semi-decent, and he has been linked with Atalanta as well. So he's definitely got some talent, if that's anything to go by. But for me, it's a 6'1" centre-back who can also play right-back. I can kind of see the direction that we're going. Is sort of fill in two spaces, but also that defensive right-back that we've lost in Foyth. He could be seen as that direct replacement. Obviously, the price and the fee is similar as well. But you make an amazing point, Sid. If the guy's been valued at 17 million and we're offering 15.5 million, it's kind of a slap in the face. It's a little bit cheeky. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like Arsenal bidding 40 million and £1 for Suarez. It's like, you don't really need to do that. Just give them the extra million or two and get the deal done. Because if he goes to West Ham or he goes to Atalanta and he turns out to be this world beater player who can play in two positions, we're going to be beating ourselves up saying it's another Jack Grealish, it's another Bruno Fernandes situation. And I know he's not got that sort of clout that those players had, but this is what we need to start doing. We need to start finding these special players in the market. And Paratici seems like he's working in that Serie A market, and he's trying to find young upcoming talents that can play in the Premier League. Because a lot of these players, if you notice, are 6 foot plus, big physical players. So I'm not against these sort of the talent scouting. It's just, let's just get these deals done. Let's not hinder our manager and our director of football by Levy not wanting to spend an extra 2 million. You know what I mean? That's not going to look good for him. So I'm all here for it. Don't know the player, but he seems like a good talent, and we need anything, like you said, any centre back that's not Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez. I'm probably going to take at this rate. So yeah.
You know what? He was linked. We was linked with him before. I do remember a couple of months back, I think, under Mourinho as well, we was linked with him. And then we were linked with him after we lost our manager. And now it's actually come to the stage where we've actually put in a bid. But please, what I don't understand, and please, Daniel Levy, if you're going to make a bid, just make the bid. 17 million is nothing. Like you said, Darius, we've lost so many players. We've lost Bruno Fernandes, Maddison, Jack Grealish,
Dybala.
All for what? 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. You know what? These are quality players. Look at the sell-on value on these guys now. And everyone at Spurs knows, every manager knows, we're crying out for centre-backs. Just do it, please. Make our day. Make our day. Because I've just heard West Ham have put in for him as well now. And if they get him above us, you know what? That just proves that we're not a big club anymore. Because if West Ham and all them not beating us to players like this, we've got problems.
And I don't even think he's going to be. It's not even like he's the main. He's definitely not going to be the main centre back signing either, because I've seen us linked with the Skriniars and the Jules Koundés. So it seems like we're going to make a big centre back signing. And also, if you actually notice that just recently today, Toby news about him potentially wanting to leave as well. So they are 100% looking to bring in, I believe, 2 centre backs. Yeah. One of them will be a sort of bargain. I think it's an option between Anderson and this lad. To me, why not get both and just fill your defensive roles, because players are leaving. But again, we're not dealing business. We don't know how much money's going in there. We don't know the player, so we just have to kind of take it at face value. From what I can see, we have made a bid and it's slightly underneath. So
At
21, is he what, 21, 22?
He's 22.
He's 22 years old. I really and truly said, if you send the guy on loan and if it doesn't work out and you send him on loan and you want to kind of recoup your money, I'm pretty sure somebody will put in a £15 million bid for an up and coming right back. So it's not even like you're really taking a big risk anyway.
No, I mean, from what I've done, from the research that I've done, there's a lot of good coming out of him. I've heard he's supposed to be a really good centre back, very solid as well. So it's a no-brainer for a 22-year-old. It's an absolute. We've taken gambles on Foyth, and Sanchez was young when we got him. So why not? Why not? Let's just do it.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more defenders we can talk about, but trying to keep it simple. So that's the 5 players that we're talking about today: 3 strikers, 1 midfielder, and 1 defender. I'll probably come back with more next week. So please like, subscribe, and most importantly, follow us and share. Where can we find you, Darius?
Well, you can find me obviously on Paxton Road with Sid. We'll always be on Saturday, Sunday special shows, talking points. You'll see us. Sid Says, you'll see us. And also you can find us on Twitter. I think your Twitter is also Sid_Spurs as well, isn't it? So yeah, Darius 3K is my Twitter. That's what I'm on most of the time. Catch us, discuss with us, comment on any videos that you like, anything that you want us to work on. Like, we're all ears. So yeah, just keep in contact and keep communicating. We want to do the same. So yeah, I'm always here to talk with anybody.
I mean, we're always looking. You know, if you've got any players in mind, guys, just drop us in the comments. Tell us who you think. Let us know about these 5 players that I've put down. If you've got any players that you think is good enough for Tottenham, or potentially you've heard rumours, gossip, drop it in the Dropbox. We'll come back to it. We'll pick it up, and hopefully on the next show, we will discuss these players. But for now, Sid Says, I'm out. Thank you very much, Darius, for coming on the show.
Pleasure was mine.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get some more guys on next week from Paxton Road TV. If anybody else wants to come on the show, discuss a few potential transfers, give me a shout. Give any of the Paxton Road boys a shout, and we'll get back to you. But as it is for now, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Euros. What's your prediction?
Coming home, is it?
Is it coming home?
No, I'm not going to say it. This is the first time I said those words. I'm not saying those words. I'm just going to watch the Euros, enjoy it, do my fantasy football. And if we do beat, who we flipping playing? Ukraine. If we do beat them, then I might be a little bit more like, okay. It actually might be, coming.
Listen, I'm in the same boat as you. I've told people until we get to next Saturday and England are in that final, then we can sort of start believing. But up until then, let them play the games. Let's get to the final. Get to the final first. Because I tell you what, tomorrow's game ain't going to be that easy. You know? That's it.
But we have to wait. We have to hope.
Absolutely. So until the next time, see you soon. Take it easy.